opportunity to be with a white girl on the streets of town.
Y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw what he said? Stay tuned.
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
All right, let's chat about episode 2, The Choice. Fun fact, they don't make all the choices in this episode. They make 3 choices in this episode, and the next episode they make the other choices. I wish somebody would have told me that, because going into watching it, I was just like, so y'all like to play? Good to know. Like, y'all like to play. Like, I don't have time to play with y'all, and they was playing with us today. But yeah, this episode I'm just gonna talk about like the dating portion. It's gonna be like the first 10 minutes, and then we'll talk about the choices towards the end, and then I'll do my overall gauge of everything throughout the video. I noticed that makes it much better and much easier to follow. So first things first, we have Vanessa and Nick. Once again, Vanessa is 30 years old. Nick is 38. I have them on here as 2 weirdos. I feel like they have a natural chemistry. I have on them as orange flag. I feel like their relationship is on point. I feel like it's like a natural, like they're slowly building it. But my issue is that, I don't know, there will always be an ick about the fact that, you dated somebody so much younger, because I always question somebody's maturity. Like, when you date somebody that much younger, like, no offense, like whenever I see these celebrities and they be like 43 and dating somebody who's 26, you know who he is. I always think, like, is your mentality 26? Okay. I have on here that Dave, who is Vanessa's man, he didn't support her bodybuilding. Like, when she said, hey, I'm going to bodybuild, he was not 10 toes down on her, which, like I said, is very important in a relationship. That you support your person 10 toes down, because what ends up happening is that you leave room, and you do not want to leave room. You leave room for somebody else to come in and be that support anchor to them. And that's usually when infidelity starts to occur. That's usually when emotional intimacy starts breaking down as well. It's because of the fact that you let somebody come in and essentially do your job. Like, you should be doing your job so well, no one else can come in it. But it has on here too that Nick said that Sandy does not like to communicate. And I was like, yeah, it's because she's 25 maybe. Like, I was 25, 27. I can tell you, like, my emotional maturity compared to now, it's like, it's not even close. I don't even know who that little girl was. So you wanted that communication. I'm still, like I said, it's an orange flag for him. Not a red flag, but an orange flag for Nick, that you would be with somebody that much younger than you. So that's kind of confusing for me. All right, so the next couple in this dating is Dave and Chanel. Chanel, babyface Chanel. And then Dave, which is Vanessa's partner. I say no. Dave said something very profound, and he said something very profound that really pissed me off. Sorry. He said, and I quote, I have it down here, and Vanessa is the one who brought it up that we should be boyfriend and girlfriend. Vanessa, baby girl, it's time to go. Because what it's telling me is that he's used to you making all the moves. Like, essentially, you're on this show because you're the one who issued the ultimatum. Like, someone like Dave, that you have to keep making moves. You're going to have to, like, the thing about women, that's why I'm not a fan of women proposing to men, is because, not because it's sexist, but because of the fact that, like, once you make that move, no offense, but men are very much path of least resistance. Once you make that move one time, once you show him one time that you're going to be making the moves in a relationship, he's just going to sit back and let you do everything. He's never going to take the initiative. Like, that showed me, like, the way y'all relationship started was already incorrect, baby girl. Like, it was already incorrect. So that kind of set me. Chanel was saying how, like, with her partner, Mika, he has a tendency to, like, basically, I wouldn't say, like, look down on her, but he's very analytical. So, like, he doesn't really give her room to basically be dumb. Like, basically, he doesn't give her room to be incorrect. Like, he pretty much, like, he's like her handler, and I feel like when someone's like your handler in that way, I feel like sometimes you get that codependency. So I feel like, I don't know how Chanel is going to do long term without Mika. We'll have to see in the other episodes. But the fact that that's why it's like the fact that she made that statement that like, oh, he takes over everything. I was like, the thing about just like someone who's controlling has a servant in a way, you know? So like, that's why it's like, I feel like that's not gonna work out. Dave and Chanel do not give chemistry. I literally have on here besties that gossip. Like, they don't really give like their one getter. Like they give very much, to me, I feel like they give very much like, I'm trying to think how to put it into words. Like, they don't give like they're actually together. Like, I feel like it's just kind of like, okay, well, no one else like me, because Dave thought he could pull Aria. Aria was not feeling him. And I feel like in that same aspect that he kind of just settled for Chanel. He really wanted Aria. And, you know, like I said, we've learned from the past with Love is Blind ultimatums that when somebody's not your first choice, everybody else just seems like their second choice. So the next couple I have is Mika and Mariah. Once again, Mariah's the one who's 24, Mika is 28. So Mariah starts going into her codependency as well. She has going to her style. So basically she's never been alone for long. Okay. So she's always been dating somebody, and it wasn't much longer before she started dating. Caleb. So she started dating Caleb when she was 22, and she's always been in a relationship since high school. Red flag. Like, there's something scary about the fact that people will sit there and hop through relationship to relationship, J-Lo, and like they'll just hop and they'll never sit there and have time, like fall in love with you. Like, there's been plenty of times where like I take myself out on a date. Like, I'll cook, I'll clean, have a candle, whatever, and I'll watch a good Christmas movie and just relax and chill by myself. Like, I love me some Claire. Y'all love yourself some Claire. I love me more. Like, I love me some Claire. Like, I love spending time with myself. And, you know, like, that's not to be cocky, but you have to learn how to be by yourself, because the thing that it teaches you, Mariah, if you're listening, the thing that it teaches you is that when you're by yourself, like, you start to see what makes me smile, like what really excites me, like what really excites me, like what, I don't know, like things that you want to do. Because what ends up happening is that Mariah gives me very much codependent, to where like when she gets with somebody, like she loses who she is. She doesn't know she doesn't know what Mariah wants. And Mika is just coasting through life. I feel like Mika gives me very much like, he's very analytical, to where like he's gonna be a 30-year. Like, a 30-year is someone who I can see getting married when they're in their mid to late 30s, because like he's gonna overanalyze everything. Like, even with him and Chanel, like I feel like the reason why he feels like he's a good connection with Chanel, because she fits into his mold of what she fits into what his mold of what he sees life as. Like, he doesn't have anybody who challenges him. And the thing about it is, ironically so, he sits there and tells us, oh, you know, it's nice to have a challenge because Chanel doesn't challenge me. And I'm just like, but you wouldn't do well with someone who challenges you. Like, it's kind of like when men be like, oh, you got a slick mouth. I want somebody who can go 2 for 2. But yeah, but then you're going to call me an a-hole by the end of the day. Like, then you're going to be like, okay, I'm tired of hearing clear talk. Like, it's not the same. Like, you can sit there and say you want something, but like in reality, you don't want you love the idea that Chanel is under you and she doesn't know much. Like, Chanel just started her career, so he loves that. I don't care whatever he tries to say and tries not to say, he loves that. Okay, one more couple, and then we'll talk about JR and Sandy in a little bit. So the last one on the dating is Caleb and Aria. Miss Aria. Caleb is Mariah's man, and then Aria is with there's so many people, child. Aria's with Scotty. Basically, Caleb wants it where he has financial stability. Like I said, like he's Mr. Right Time, whatever he wants. And then Aria is the one who got the ultimatum issued to her by Scotty. And so she wants to, you know, try to explore, try to see. She doesn't want, she doesn't want it where she's just getting married because a man told her to. And then on here as well, Caleb's fear that he opens up to, which, I mean, I'm glad they're opening up to these other people, but I'm also kind of like, dang, you could have said this to your partner. But Caleb basically says that Caleb basically said that the reason why he feels some type of way is because he feels like Mariah is just clicking off a list. Like, she's so codependent. She's so codependent that, like, he doesn't trust, like, the main issue is that he doesn't trust the fact that she wants to marry him. Is it the fact, like, he doesn't trust that because he feels like, okay, like, she just wants to get married, and then she wants to get married to just get married, and then it could be anybody. Like, I feel like his confirmation that he needs, in my opinion, is that he wants it where he knows that you want to get married to me, because there's some women that they're just hiring for the role. Okay, tall, money, 6 figures, 6 feet. All right, you can be my husband, but I like gaming and I don't care. You don't gotta talk. That don't matter, baby. That don't matter. Like, they're just trying to find somebody to fill that role. Like, I can see from his aspect where that would get frustrating, because like, it doesn't make any sense how common that is. Like, it's so scary to me how common is that people really just be getting married to people because it's what everybody else is doing. Like, it's the same thing with kids. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like, sometimes you can honestly feel when your parent was just like, I just didn't want to use protection that day. Like, you know, like, not to get dark or nothing, but like, there's been plenty of times where you can just tell how a parent treats their kid, where it's just like, they didn't really want to have kids. Like, you just happened to be there, you know? So, I can definitely feel where Caleb's coming from, but he also needs to tell his partner that so she can know. But Mariah not knowing herself, she's gonna be somebody who's gonna cheat in her 30s, because she's all he knows. He's all she knows. I'm sorry. So I can see it where she ends up cheating later on, because like, she's just on to the next one. Like, she's on to the next one. She's on to the next script. She's not really here. She's not really here to get anything done. Like, she's just here to just get on to the next job. So that's my assumption of them. So JR and Sandy, first things first, and I quote that video that showed at the beginning, you know, this was him talking to Mika, by the way, you know, and he was saying like, oh, have you ever dated a white girl? You know, I just want to see what that like, you know, mixed kids, pretty mixed babies, or blah, blah. It's scary to me that this is so common nowadays, especially, you know, since people are giving people more microphones and audacity. It's really scary. Like, it's really scary. It is. It's scary how easily this common. Like, they really want to just sample another person, which to me, it falls under fetishization. Bonjour, I can't say this word. Fetishization. The plane goes really in the plane. Oh, it was bad. I can't do it. Okay. Y'all know that word. Okay. Because that's not romantic to me. That's basically saying that you're with me. You're just with me because I look a certain way. Like, that's like if I was dating a guy who was non-black, and he was like, oh, I never tried a black girl. I was like, wait, that's not it. Like, that's not it, baby. Like, that's like that. Like, it's different when you're just like, oh, I've never tried the Frappuccino from Starbucks, compared to a person. Like, these are people with real feelings. So him saying that definitely gave me red flag for sure. He also said too, JR was on a date with Arya in this episode, and he was saying how, like, you know, he feels like Zaina is on a time schedule, which she should be. They're both in their 30s, you know, to have a kid. She wants to freeze her eggs while they're good, and then possibly, you know, have a kid later in life. And he's like, oh, well, a woman's timeline has never messed, he said she has her clock, but that's never messed with my time for having kids. Listen, I don't know how many red flags y'all need. Like, he's telling y'all he ain't ish, and you guys are still signing up for it. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. He's telling you he ain't ish. He literally said, and I quote, Your Honor, and I quote, he said, a woman's clock. Like, any man that can sit there and say, oh, well, I don't care if my wife could possibly have complications from having a kid later in life, that don't affect my clock. What are we doing? He's literally telling you he ain't ish, and people are still signing up, and Arya's just like, wow. I was like, Arya, please. Like, I don't understand. But anyways, when JR and Sandy are on a date, I put it on there that her leg is on his leg and they kiss, and I'm just like, listen, I already know what the choices are gonna be. I already know what the choices are gonna be. How you kiss somebody and you dating somebody, you just kissed them off red. Like, that's so intimate. Anyway, so the choices are, so the first choice is Scotty and Zaina, which we already knew because Scotty is just here. I literally have it now that Scotty is just here to make his girl jealous. He's just here to make Arya jealous because I feel like he's feeling Zaina, but I feel like it's hard to not feel Zaina. Zaina is breathtaking. Like, she's gorgeous. Like, it's not hard. Like, I literally have on here to make partner jealous, literally on here, and then in front of the other couples, which I think is messy, but also nice that they do that so you can really see like their emotions in real time because JR is making faces. He's a Scorpio, very brooding, very intense, just making that face like, oh, she's gonna be with somebody else. And then Arya's in the corner, crying up, tearing up because, he's going with somebody else, but she also does not want to get married. Okay. All right. The next couple that gets chosen is Mika and Mariah. This is actually really funny because of the fact that there's something that Mariah just screams codependent. Like, she just screams codependent, and Mika, I don't know if I'm saying his name wrong or right, but he just screams like handler. He screams handler, so they're perfect. I'm not surprised they gravitated towards each other. I am surprised that they're that boring together. They are, because like it wasn't really like, oh my God, and I choose you. Also, they're saying a lot of sentences. Like, they're talking like a lot. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, they ended up being together, and Arya is just like, it hurts to see it in real time. And then Chanel is Micah's partner, and she's tearing up as well because she's like, you're gonna be with my person, blah blah blah. Boring. Okay, so our next couple that they have is Dave and Chanel. Dave and his interesting face, and Chanel's beautiful baby face. Basically, while he chooses her, Micah starts, he starts getting emotional. He's just like, that's my best friend. You take care of her. She good, you good. Basically, he's threatening, like, I'll take it down. Like, basically, we're gonna come to fisticuffs if you don't take care of her. Which I'm just like, once again, that gives very much twin flame. Someone who's in love with their partner would be like, forget all this. Let's just get married. Because Chanel is the one who gave him the ultimatum, but he still wants to see it through. And I feel like, I don't know, there's something there. Like, Dave and Chanel just give very much, okay, well, I guess we'll deal with each other. They don't look good together, because I truly believe like sometimes as a couple, like, you have to look good together, and they do not look good together. My final two comments, just real quick. Some of the couples were saying what their partner was lacking, and they're more mature than me, because I would have went back and forth. Because, like, for example, let's say I went on there with a guy, and I'm just like, okay, I want to give you the ultimatum, blah blah, and he picks somebody else. See, unlike Claire, dry lip, no eyebrow having self, you're the best. Will you be my traditional wife for 2 weeks? Like, we fighting. Like, we're fighting. Like, we are fighting. We are coming to a fisticuffs. We are fighting. There's no, oh my God. Like, no, we're fighting. We are using our fists as words. We are fighting. Like, at that part, I can say they're more mature than me, because I would have definitely came to blows. The episode does end with it showing that, JR has this connection with Arya, and he has a connection with Sandy. He's acting like he's not gonna choose Sandy, because he stands up, him in his dry 4 braids, and he's just like, I don't know who I'm gonna choose. I was just like, listen, Stevie Wonder can see who you're gonna choose, baby boy. Like, at the end of the day, you're here for a hall pass. All right, you've wanted to cheat this whole time, and you won't make it count. Okay, like, if I'm gonna cheat, I'm gonna go to a different race. Essentially, that's what you're saying. One thing I can say is the fact that I didn't know they were gonna take that long to put all the choices out there. Because I was like, wait, there's 7 minutes left, and there's still 3 couples. Like, I was kind of confused. I also have the question that, what if you didn't want to choose nobody? Because I'm very picky. Like, what if you sit there and end it, and it's like, actually, I don't want nobody. Like, I choose me. Like, I don't know. Like, who for the choice? Like, I choose myself. Like, that's why I was kind of like, wait a minute. Like, how you gonna sit here and choose? But All right, y'all stay tuned for part 3, which will premiere tomorrow on Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe and share. It's Claire here.